China says woman died from bird flu new to humans. Chinese authorities said Wednesday that a 73-year-old Chinese woman died after being infected with a bird flu strain that has sickened a human for the first time, a development that the World Health Organization called worrisome. China's Center for Disease Control and Prevention confirmed the woman in the city of Nanzhuang had been infected by the H10N8 bird flu virus, a strain that had not previously been found in people. The Jiangxi Province Health Department said on its website. This is the second new bird flu strain to emerge in humans this year in China. In late March, the H7N9 bird flu virus broke out, infecting 140 people and killing 45, almost all of them on the mainland. The outbreak was controlled after the country closed many of its live animal markets. Scientists had assumed that the virus was infecting people through exposure to live birds. Timothy O'Leary, spokesman for the World Health Organization's regional office in Manila, said WHO officials were working closely with Chinese authorities to better understand the new virus. He said though its source remains unknown, birds are known to carry it, and it would not be surprising if another human case was detected. It's worrisome anytime a disease jumps the species barrier from animals to humans. That said, the case is under investigation by Chinese authorities and there's no evidence of human-to-human transmission yet, O'Leary said by phone. In the new case, the Jiangxi Health Department said the woman had severe pneumonia before dying December 6th in a hospital in Nanzhuang. She had suffered high blood pressure, heart disease, and other underlying health problems that lowered her immunity, the health department said. Her medical history showed that she had been in contact with live poultry. The health department said no abnormalities have been found in people who had close contact with her. It did not say if they had been tested or quarantined, though China has in previous outbreaks taken those measures. Experts are cautious when it comes to bird flu viruses infecting humans. They have been closely watching the H5N1 bird flu virus, which has killed 384 people worldwide since 2003. The virus remains hard to catch with most human infections linked to contact with infected poultry, but scientists fear it would mutate and spread rapidly among people, potentially sparking a pandemic. Moon's newest crater revealed in crash site photo. When a space rock slammed into the moon earlier this year, it tore a big new hole in the already pockmarked lunar surface and generated an explosion that would have been visible to the naked eye from Earth, scientists say. New images of the moon crater from NASA's lunar LRO showed that this hole stretches 59 feet, 80 meters across, with radiating decks of debris from the impact covering an area half the size of a football field, according to the website spaceweather.com. Scientists first noticed the new lunar impact earlier this year while poring over LRO photos from March 17, 2013. The researchers spotted a bright flash of light at the impact area, 10 times brighter than any impact they had seen since they started monitoring the moon for meteor crashes in 2005. When the discovery was announced in May, the team said a meteoroid the size of a small boulder likely hit the lunar surface at an astounding 55,000, about 19,000 km per hour. The orbiter's LROC camera snapped new photos of the crater in July as the spacecraft flew over the impact site. which is in a large plain in the Moon's northern hemisphere known as Mare Imbrium, Sea of Showers. By analyzing the images, scientists determined that the rock responsible for the impact was 0.65 feet, about 0.2 meters wide, spaceweather.com reported. The researchers presented their findings last week at the annual meeting of the American Geophysical Union in San Francisco. Earlier this year, scientists said the space rock that gouged the new hole in the Moon may have been related to a meteor shower over Earth at the same time. On the night of March 17th, NASA and the University of Western Ontario all-sky cameras picked up an unusual number of deep, penetrating meteors right here on Earth. Bill Cook of NASA's Meteorite Environment Office said the statement in May. These fireballs were traveling along nearly in identical orbits between Earth and the asteroid belt. The Earth's atmosphere acts like a shield against impacts from small space rocks, which often slow down, burn up, and break apart before they hit the ground. Surrounded by the airless vacuum of space, the Moon lacks such protection, making meteor strikes quite common. Over the last 8 years, NASA's Moon Impact Monitoring Program has spied more than 300 flashes of light, interpreted as space rocks slamming into the lunar surface. LROC's principal investigator, Mark Robinson, wrote in a post on the project's website. This is not the first new impact crater the LROC team has found, nor will it be the last. The flash of light in the LRO images come from the glow of molten rock and hot vapors at the impact site, not fire, according to NASA. Since the Moon has no oxygen, there is no combustion involved in its meteor crashes. Just like Google, Yahoo wants to control video's journey to your home. Google now controls vast swaths of the physical infrastructure that delivers its web services to the people, including everything from the massive data centers that underpin these services to other machines it strategically places inside the ISPs that runs internet connections to your home. And Yahoo wants to be more like Google. On Tuesday, TechCrunch reported that Yahoo had acquired PeerCDN, a content delivery network that puts photos and videos and other rich internet media files closer to the people who want to look at them. This may seem like a rather geeky and minor bit of news, but it hints at the future of Marissa Mayer and the company. Netflix and Google, the owner of YouTube, already operate their own CDNs inside data centers owned by residential ISPs such as Comcast. That's how you reduce delays when people want to watch online video, and clearly Yahoo wants to do the same. Is Yahoo a video company? Of course it is. It just hired former CBS anchor Katie Couric, and it is apparently bidding to acquire online TV hub Vimeo. Clearly, Yahoo is looking to provide more entertainment to its users, and a service like the one operated by PeerCDN will be a key part of this effort. The PeerCDN acquisition highlights yet another way Yahoo is becoming more like Google. Once positioned as little more than a technological middleman, arbitraging advertising opportunities, Yahoo now wants to reclaim its engineering mojo, and for good reason. Mayer has been outspoken about her dissatisfaction with the deal that outsourced Yahoo search to Microsoft. With the PeerCDN deal, she's moving things in the other direction. For Mayer, a computer scientist and longtime head of Google search products, integrating geeky operations like PeerCDN is the easy part. The hard work lies everywhere. Shooting video that people actually want to see. Twitter may just be getting started with changes. As the social media company works to expand its user base, it's going to be rolling out a lot more features that will aim to make the platform more user-friendly and that will attract more advertising dollars. But as the company builds out its business, it must be careful not to change too much too fast. Industry experts say Twitter is a really interesting company and I think we're going to learn a lot more about them now that they are a public company. It's hard to imagine a company like Twitter standing still, said Brian Blau, an analyst at Gartner. The first thing that seemed obvious is that the fundamental unit, the tweet, is going to remain the same, but they are going to improve features and make sure there is plenty for users to do around the original tweet. Most recently, the company has been testing a new location feature that enables users to see who is tweeting near their physical location. Basically, the new feature is another feed that shows the tweets of those in close proximity. However, unlike the regular Twitter feed, which only shows tweets of accounts you follow, tweets in the nearby stream show all those in your areas regardless of whether you follow the user's account or not. Twitter is clearly testing ways it can become something more than it is today, said Jason Stan, founder and president of Laundry Service, a social media agency. We should expect to see a lot of change, a lot of evolution for Twitter. While new features like the nearby feed could potentially help Twitter expand its reach, they could also add clutter to the already noisy platform. I think there is a risk for too much too fast, but it's all about how they implement it, Stan said. They have already made a lot of changes really quickly, but none of them have really been an issue. None of them have made it worse. And when a company does throw out a change that its users don't like, it's quick to respond, Stan said. For example, Twitter recently changed its blocking feature so that blocker users could view and interact with the tweets of those who had shut them off from their posts. However, user backlash spurred the company to reverse the change in just 5 hours. This is more about Twitter trying to find itself and expand its offering without upsetting its users, Stan said. We should expect to see a lot of change, a lot of evolution for Twitter, but they're going to do whatever the users want. In addition, there is also the possibility that Twitter will take a cue from Facebook and begin to give users the ability to view content in a more curated fashion. They may add new features in and around tweets. This may not necessarily be outward changes to the interface, but they could have more to do with the algorithms and the delivery of services to you and the integration of media and content, Blau said. This may mean straying from such a real-time format and allowing people to view their feeds with the most relevant information listed near the top of their feed, Stan said. People get overwhelmed with such a busy feed on Twitter. It takes a lot of effort for the average person outside of Twitter's core users to follow their stream, Stan said. If they want to expand, they are going to have to think of a way to simplify their experience. Twitter did not immediately respond to a request for comment from CNBC. Will 2014 be the year of Windows Phone? The Windows Phone mobile platform may be looking to have an even better 2014 after showing some encouraging momentum this year. That's according to a Windows Supersite article written by Paul Thurrott. While Windows Phone is still trailing in third place behind Google and Apple when it comes to mobile market share, it has been growing at a faster rate than its competitors, even though at the end of 2013 it's still only on just 3.6% of the overall market. In certain regions of the world, including Europe and Latin America, Windows Phone has registered even better sales and has even surpassed an 8% share in the 5 biggest European markets. Android had an 81% market share according to October numbers released by IDC, while iOS had a 13% share in the same third quarter, down from a 14.5% share in Q3 2012. Despite increased iPhone sales compared to 2012, Windows Phone shipments rose by more than 150% year-over-year, and the platform has nestled comfortably into third place ahead of BlackBerry. According to Thorold, there are several factors that helped with Microsoft's mobile growth, including Nokia's line of devices covering various price points and therefore addressing the needs of more potential buyers. It also helps that Nokia accounted for more than 80% of Windows Phone device sales, but also BlackBerry's uninspiring products that made customers easy targets for competitors. Furthermore, the Windows Phone App Store has just surpassed 200,000 apps, growing at a rate of roughly 8,000 apps per month. As at the end of February, the store had rounded 130,000 apps. Naturally, Microsoft is way behind on apps numbers, with both Google and Apple having surpassed the 1 million apps mark and still growing strong each month. But Windows Phone users now have more app options for their needs, even though not as many as iOS and Android users. In 2014, Windows Phone may very well see more growth, which could at least help it protect its position as the number 3 mobile platform. If not to improve it, it also doesn't hurt that Microsoft made a bid to buy Nokia's mobile arm for $7.2 billion to closely control the smartphone manufacturing process as well as the software side of the business in the future. If things go according to the plan, then Microsoft should have a lot more Windows Phone users by the time it launches its next major update to the OS sometime next year. Japan robot chats with astronauts on space station. The first humanoid robot in space made small talk with a Japanese astronaut and said it had no problem with zero gravity on the International Space Station. Footage released by the robot's developers on Friday showed Kirobo performing its first mission on the station, talking in Japanese with astronaut Koichi Wakashita as part of an experiment testing Kirobo's astronomous conversation functions. Wakata says he's glad to meet Kirobo and asks the robotic companion how it feels about being in a zero-gravity environment. "I'm used to it now, but no problem at all," Kirobo quips. Kirobo is programmed to process questions and select words from its vocabulary to construct an answer, instead of giving pre-programmed responses to specific questions. The creator of the robot, Tomotaka Takahashi, said the astronomous functions made nobody knew how well Kirobo would be able to answer Wakata's questions. Though Kirobo had some awkward pauses and Wakata spoke more slowly than usual at times in their chat earlier this month, Takahashi said the conversation smoothed out over time. Low layers of communications, we were able to observe the initial stages of a relationship begin to develop between a human and a robot, and I think that was our biggest success, he said. Kirobo took off from Japan's Tanegashima Space Center for the International Space Station this summer aboard a space cargo transporter. Wakata arrived in November and will assume command of the station in March. The project is a joint endeavor between advertising company Dentsu, automaker Toyota, and Takahashi at the University of Tokyo's Research Center for Advanced Science and Technology. Experiments with Kirobo will continue until it returns to Earth at the end of 2014. In the meantime, Kirobo says he wants to ask her for a toy rocket this Christmas. Prince William, Kate heading down under. Palace officials say Prince William and his wife Kate will travel to New Zealand and Australia in spring. Kensington Palace said Thursday it is anticipated the young Prince George will accompany his parents, but that a final decision will be made in due course. The palace said the trip will take place in April 2014 and that William and Kate, known as the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, were invited by the New Zealand and Australian governments. It said further details on the exact dates and itinerary will come in due course. The Duchess of Cambridge hasn't visited either country. William last visited New Zealand and Australia in March 2011, shortly after an earthquake hit Christchurch and floods hit the rest of Queensland and Victoria. First Lady joins President's push on health care. First Lady Michelle Obama is suggesting a different kind of Christmas present for moms to give this year, a family discussion on health insurance. The First Lady joked it could be new holiday tradition as the president enlisted his popular wife to help get young Americans to sign up for coverage. The couple spoke to moms in the Oval Office Wednesday, just 5 days before a December 23rd deadline for consumers to select a plan if they want coverage at the beginning of the new year. Mrs. Obama rarely gets involved in her husband's policy battles, but public opinion polls show she's a more popular advocate than her husband, so she's helping push his unpopular law ahead of the critical deadline. Mrs. Obama always was appearing on 3 African American radio shows to encourage Americans to enroll. Minorities are less likely to have health insurance, so the administration has been targeting them in sign-up campaigns. The Obama administration needs millions of Americans, especially younger, healthy people, to sign up through new exchanges to keep prices low. Insurance sign-ups through the exchanges have been hindered in the first months by widespread website problems. Obama told 7 moms and 1 aunt sitting on couches in his office that their experiences keep him fighting to make the law work. Several of the moms have children with pre-existing conditions that are required to be covered by the law, or have sons and daughters who now are able to stay on family plans until age 26. There's something about moms, Obama said. He said they have credibility, often make family health care decisions, and can tell young people who think they're invincible that they're not, and prod them to at least get information. The First Lady added that convincing young adults that they aren't invincible is our job as mothers. Making a Christmas tree around a table to talk about little health care, she told the mothers in front of media invited in to cover the end of the meeting. Ring in the new year with new coverage. As reporters were leaving the room, the women could be heard laughing after Obama added, "Although I will say you should probably get another Christmas present." Canada approves law school accused for homophobia. Canada's first faith-based law school has been approved by education officials despite objections to its allegedly homophobic politics. Trinity Western University in Westmost, Canada received a note late Wednesday from the British Columbia Minister of Advanced Education, R. McGurk. The approval came after several prominent lawyers and hundreds of law students voiced concerns that the school might produce barristers with an anti-gay bias. They point to Trinity's threat of expulsion for students who break a pledge of abstaining from sexual intimacy that violates the sacredness of marriage between a man and a woman. A footnote to this section into the school student handbook lists two Bible passages that condemn homosexuality. The Christian school's administration did not respond to AFP's request for an interview, but has said it welcomes gay and lesbian students. Work in a statement said Trinity's proposed law program and passed the review, which have found that graduates could meet the national standards to practice law. Woman gives birth to baby boy on flight from Spain to Romania. A passenger went into labor during a Wizz Air flight from Valencia in Spain to Bucharest and gave birth to a boy inside the aircraft just after it landed in the Romanian capital, the airline said Wednesday. The woman requested assistance from the crew minutes before it was due to land on Tuesday at Bucharest Otopeni Airport, Romania's busiest. The Eastern European budget airline said in a statement. During descent and while taxiing to the terminal, the passenger was assisted on a back row of the aircraft by a crew member and a doctor who was traveling on the same flight, it said. Mother and newborn baby were met by the airport ambulance and taken to hospital. We are very proud of our crew who handled this situation with professionalism and care. The airline did not specify the passenger's nationality or age, but a spokeswoman said she was 9 months pregnant. While this mother and her newborn baby seem well, we urge all our pregnant mothers not to risk their well-being and not to conceal their pregnancy, the statement said. Passengers must produce a certificate from a doctor if they are traveling after their 28th week of pregnancy and cannot travel after their 34th week of pregnancy, the airline said. In August, a 39-year-old Moroccan woman on a Royal Air Maroc flight between Casablanca and the Italian city of Bologna gave birth moments before the plane made an emergency landing at the Barcelona's El Prat airport.